how do you handle calibration of the sensors in operation?
So it depends on which ones we're talking about. If we're talking about the binary gas analyzers, a simple cylinder gas, it can be used, a zero and or span, depending on the calibration of that binary gas analyzer. And in that case, in minutes, you can have that transmitter calibrated back for 4 to 20, your 4 and your 20 milliamp. That's very straightforward. In non-SIL rated applications, we can even provide what we call auto verification or auto cal, where the transmitter can enable on a timed basis using solenoid valves, either the check of the calibration or an actual calibration where we then correct the 4 and correct the 20 milliamps in order to get a new straight line calibration for that species. For oxygen, very straightforward. Again, whether it's for the galvanic fuel cell applications, that's just a span gas typically. You wouldn't calibrate the zero, you just calibrate the span. A cylinder gas will do that very well for you. For the tunable diode lasers, because there really isn't anything to calibrate per se, you can bring a verification gas in. Okay, so let's say you had a cylinder with enough water vapor where it makes sense, let's call it 100 ppm. You can at least check to see that you have 100 ppm or something close to it. But you have to remember that the difficult thing about calibration cylinders is, especially for water vapor, is that the water vapor sticks to the inside walls of those cylinders, even the ones that are purported to be better at not having that absorption, they still do. And as you deplete that cylinder, you'll end up with higher and higher amounts of water vapor coming out. So it can be a bit tricky to maintain those cylinders appropriately and to use them either as a verification gas or as a calibration gas. For aluminum oxide sensors, we have calibration systems around the globe, factory calibration systems around the globe. We have a huge bank of calibration stands in the Boston area in Massachusetts in the US that services our North American market and much of our Latin American market. We have the same kind of a setup in Ireland that services our, let's call it everything east of there. We have a stand in China, in Japan, in the United Arab Emirates. We have smaller stands in Brazil and in India. So we have given you a lot of different places in order to send your sensors back for calibration. If you think about what it takes to calibrate a moisture sensor, it's not a one-point cal. We're actually giving you the characterization of the sensor all the way up and down through the calibration curve from, let's say, -80 to +10. And by putting it in the same exact type of system that you received the calibration new, or produced that calibration as a new sensor, we're able to track changes in the calibration with time. The nice thing about aluminum oxide sensors is they actually get better with age. They change less and less with the passage of time. It is very common to get sensors back for calibration that have been in the field 20, 30, and 40 years. And again, that comes down to good sample system design, proper maintenance, and we help our customers there with a moisture sensor exchange program. Really, it's a calibration service agreement that allows them to send those sensors back very easily once a year for calibration. And those are all NIST traceable or NPL traceable systems, and they can be ISO 17025 if and when necessary. So we make it as simple as possible for you to be able to get top-notch factory calibration for each one of those sensors as needed. And we try to make it as economically possible as possible.